Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle. And before we begin the meat and potatoes of this video, which is the comparison between this man and Nick Walker, I would like to congratulate this guy in question, Carlos Thomas Jr. He just took the overall at the NPC National Championships, earned himself a pro card, and I have seen a lot of a lot of comparisons on Instagram, things of that nature. Fernando Arroyo in particular did this exact same comparison, so I guess I give him a finder's fee. Speaking of finder's fees, I mean, I hate to try to brag up the biggest channel, Nick Strength and Power. He should probably get a finder's fee. He's been making videos about these guys long before anybody else did. But anyway, not sucking up to the Strength and Power man at all, for that matter. Let us begin this outstanding comparison. And to keep this fair, I am using a North American Championships version of Nick Walker because this is where he earned his pro card. And it's pro card winning version versus pro card winning version. These guys size up very well. And I noticed that from the Instagram pictures from Fernando Arroyo. I believe Who is the Best Bodybuilder also did this comparison. I'm not exactly sure. I gotta say, he's defeating Nick is Carlos Thomas Jr. on the midsection, the flow, the aesthetics, and in the wheels, strangely enough. Look at the size of the quads on the man. But Nick Walker's beating him in the arm department. Look at the biceps, triceps, the peaks, forearms, in particular, those forearms, tricep sweeps, most certainly winning, as well as the lats. But I see the overall flow here, the proportions, upper, lower body, a thing of perfection for Carlos. So I still see this as a very close matchup. Couldn't find a front lat spread from Nick at the NPC Nationals. So this is from the New York Pro, obviously, which is kind of unfair. But heck, Carlos, he's holding his own. Look at the Dorian-esque lats. Smaller midsection, and boom, huge quads on this man. Nick, you can definitely see his quads have improved from when he did earn his pro card. So like I said, kind of unfair. We'll have to wait till Carlos starts winning some pro shows. Then we'll do a different comparison using this New York Pro version. But anyway, kind of the same story here, if you ask me. The aesthetics, proportions, things of that nature, I do prefer Carlos. But Nick, I mean, he's a beast. I mean, look at the delts, look at the outline of this one. Turn to the side, and this is Domination 101 for sure for Carlos Jr. And this shot here gets me excited about the future of this man. Look at this pose. Keep in mind, I made Nick quite a bit taller here. He's straight-legged. You can see that. I could have even made him a little bit bigger because he looks like he is getting dwarfed. Look how thick, very thick, those quads are, and the hanging hamstring of Carlos. You know what? He kind of takes me a mind of a younger Rolly the Beast Winkler. You see this? Could we have another Rolly the Beast Winkler on our hands with Carlos Thomas Jr.? You never know. Anyway, back to the matchup at hand, in which case Carlos Thomas Jr., after the first three shots, no doubt, very dominant. Taking into consideration he's taking Nick to school in the side chest. Side tricep, not as dominant. Hard to size them. There wasn't the full body of Nick. And you kind of need that to size them correctly. I believe I made him a little bit too large when you look at the quad. I mean, it was a dominance as far as that's concerned in the side chest. Not so much here in the side tricep. Good thick hunk of meat for Nick Walker in that tricep itself. Not no small potatoes for Carlos either. Looks pretty good. But when you look at the physiques, the chest and the midsection, this is like a 1990s type physique with that barrel chest and just washboard abs. Look at that. Now that's the physique that you want to see in a side tricep and a side chest for that matter. So take your pick, kind of a coin toss. It's beast like condition muscle for Nick Walker versus a slightly more aesthetically pleasing Carlos. You definitely have to look at the backs to decide who is the true winner of this one. And with no disrespect meant at all to Carlos Thomas Jr., Nick's back looks better. This is a blurry picture. Keep in mind, you can't really see conditioning, anything close to resembling the conditioning, things of that nature, and it does distort the size. But you can see those lower lat insertions. The guy is a beast. But speaking of thickness in the quad, I guess I didn't speak about the thickness yet, but look how thick Nick Walker's legs are. But take a look at Carlos. Very thick as well in those hamstrings, the quads, even from behind. Impressive shot nonetheless, but I would say Nick probably would win. Rear double by, no different. Keep in mind, Nick Walker was defeating top pros. I don't even think I've seen him lose this rear double by in recent events. This is an awesome, outstanding pose. And it really, I guess it's too good of a shot to realize how good Carlos Thomas Jr. could be in this shot. I think it's a pretty good pose. What do you guys think? Not bad. But I honestly believe, I like Carlos. I like Carlos in this match, even though he is losing both back shots. But I think that the judges would see these two back shots, in particular this rear double by, and they most certainly would. They probably hand Nick the trophy. But here at Mark's Max Muscle, we're not professional judges. I'll give you my honest opinion: abs and thigh. And this is could be another coin toss. It's the center of the physique. Nick has some world-class separation in the abs. And this is another blurry picture. I was almost tempted to use another version, but hey, we're trying to keep it fair here. His midsection, like I said, cut up and everything like that, but he has no V-taper in comparison to Carlos. Carlos is all V-taper and all quad to boot. Fantastic. It just, if he had that separation Nick does in the center of the abs, this would be an unbeatable pose, for sure. So maybe a little bit too smooth, monsoon in the abs, but like I said, could still be a coin toss considering the dominance in the V-taper. Not only that, but personally, I would give him the overall win in the abs and thigh because he's winning in the thigh. Look at his quads. And food for thought, they were much more symmetrical. Nick's quads were a little uneven back then. And when you take a look at the most muscular, that may be the first thing you do notice. The outer sweeps of the quads. Nick, a little bit light, a little bit slight on the right quad. New York Pro, he actually fixed that. In my opinion, it was close to it anyway. They were pretty symmetrical. Look at the squad sweeps on this Carlos Jr. Carlos Thomas. Wow. Again, you look at the center, even in the chest this time, the cleavage area and the center of the abs. Nick Walker, that's how he wins a lot of his matches, guys. The abs and thighs, the most musculars. Even in the most muscular, you can see those abs bulge. Just popping for Nick Walker. So he does finish strong, I think, in the most muscular. And this is going to be a situation, guys, where I will tell you, thumbs up, thumbs down, 2 thumbs ups, 2 thumbs down. In my opinion, Carlos Jr. did enough in the front, in the side, in particular those side shots, and finished strong. Good, I think it was a good abs and thigh. Needs a little bit more separation in the abs, things of that nature. But the symmetry of his quads definitely drew out that small right quad of Nick. And in my opinion, that makes a huge difference. But I have a feeling if I was on the judging panel, I'd be looking around and everybody else would be, they'd be seeing something that I'm not. Probably in the hamstrings and the back shots in particular. Well, obviously, the only shots you can see the hamstrings. Anyway, you know what I'm saying, guys? I do believe the judges would give it to Nick Walker. But not me. I like Carlos. I like the guy's future, for sure. I think he can, do just what Nick Walker did. Have a dream year next year, 2022, the year of Carlos Jr. But anyway, you know how I feel about it. 1 thumbs down, 1 thumbs up for Nick Walker. He is, I guess the winner of this one. With no real announcement of a winner, I guess I'll eliminate the people that just sift through to see who I put the picture of at the end. They'll have to actually listen to my opinion on this one. Poor guys, poor girls too. Hit thumbs up on the video. It really helps. If you if you get this past a certain level of thumbs ups, they push it out into the stream more. You know what I'm saying, guys? Sure, some saying. Have a great day.